Okay, so the last time I worked with Gravedigger's Resurrection, I free lunged him like this and taught him how to not stop at the gate. And you can see he goes 3 or 4 times around here, and he's not stopping at the gate. Very little hesitation. Later on when he gets tired, he does hesitate, and you can see I cracked the whip behind him just to let him know that I don't want him slowing down at the gate. So once I really get this concept down, I'll be able to really start working on speed control, and I'll get him to canter less. But right now I'm just trying to teach him not to stop at the gate, not to hesitate at the gate. But I'm going to start working. I've got him doing good enough now that I'm going to start working on some changes of direction. And I tried there to step in front of his shoulder, and there we do it right there. And I want him turning with his eyes on me. So what you do is you step back when you're wanting them to go the same direction over and over. You stay behind the shoulder. But when you want them to turn in, you have to step back and then step in front of the opposite shoulder. And because he's a colt, I have to be a lot more careful, because I can't just assume that if I step in front of him, he's going to stop. So on this particular exercise, I can't make my cues nearly as plain as I do with older horses that know to stop. I mean, I don't want him to plow right over me. And there he makes the mistake of turning into the fence. And you're supposed to make them go the same direction that they were going when they try to turn into the fence, but I didn't catch it there, so I just kind of backed off. So right here you can see me stepping back, but again he goes into the fence, and so I'm going to get behind him there and make him go the same direction that he was going, because it's not going to be okay to turn into the fence. Some people may feel that it's okay, but I don't particularly want my horses turning into the fence. I want their eyes on me. I want them arcing toward me. And I want, when they turn, I want their eyes on me. And that'll also help with liberty training in the future if I ever decide to do that. If he's always looking into me, then I'll be able to get him to do anything. But he doesn't thoroughly understand what I'm wanting here, so this is the first day of really working on direction changing. And I've taught him a lot about pointing, but here I am stepping in front of him, and well, he went into the fence, and I cut it right there because I had to get all over him. There we go. So you see how I stepped back, and then I stepped around in front of the other shoulder and pointed my finger out the other way, and that kind of teaches him to go back out instead of coming in. Sometimes he thinks that I'm calling him in, and then I surprise him by sending him off in another direction, and there he goes to the fence again. So I have to run around and catch him and make him go the same direction he was going, because it is not okay to turn into the fence. And horses have sides too, and they all have one side better than the other. And Resurrection here seems to like turning to the left better than he likes turning to the right. I don't have a whole lot of problems getting him to turn into me when he's going to the left, but when he's going to the right like he is now, I have a little bit more trouble turning into the right. He's actually heading left in the arena, but here we go. And there. So see, I get in front of his drive line, which slows him down, and then step to the other shoulder and point out in the opposite direction, and that makes him turn. And here we go, tries to turn and go the wrong direction. And I'm cutting a lot out of this because a lot of the things I had to do over and over and over and over again. So it's not like he just got it, you know. He made some of the mistakes he made of turning into the fence. he did it several times, and I just didn't want to show me doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, which is essentially just making him go the way that he was going. So I'll go and I'll cut him off and send him back the way that he was going so that he doesn't think it's okay to change directions into the fence. And that's just like I'm doing right here. He makes that mistake again, so I go back and make him continue in the same direction that he was going. And sometimes I make attempts to call him in. You know, I kind of move my hand, kind of wave my hand a little to call him in to me. And here he's making the mistake of turning into the fence again, so I get behind him. And sometimes when I call him in, he just doesn't get it. And because I'm not stepping right in front of him, there, that was a good one there. And I got more in front of him there, but he was going a little bit slower, and I felt comfortable doing it. So I've got to know for sure that he's not going to just plow over me before I go stepping out in front of him. So I can't make the cues near as clear as I would on a horse that I know isn't going to plow over me. And I don't think he will, but, you know, you never know. So. He's a stallion colt. He's a stud colt. He is fully intact already at 10 months old. So I'm not afraid, but I just have to play it safe with him. And there he turned back toward the fence again. Same thing. You can see he makes these same mistakes. But for lesson 1, he's doing pretty good. And what I do is I wait for a success moment, and then I really, really, really back off the pressure whenever I get success. Like right here, he just totally did that right. And you'll see me just give him a real little break there, you know, no driving pressure. Here I start to call him in, and no response, so he tries to stop at the gate. So there I go, really laying on the pressure behind him to get him moving, to let him, you know, it's very, very important these first couple lessons that although he's tired, I cannot let him get away with turning into the fence, and I can't let him get away with stopping at the gate. And so that's a lot of what I cut out, is when I'm having to work those same lessons over and over again. But again, when he makes a good turn, like that right there, I give him a good rest. And all in all, he had a really good day. He'll only get better and better. So now I'm trying to draw him in, but he's tired, so the pull of the gate is very strong. So again, I have to drive him away from the gate. I would love to just let him quit right now, but I cannot let him, you know, we can't end on a note where he learns the wrong lesson. So you always have to find a really good note to end on. And so right here, I'm going to go ahead and try to draw him in. And didn't work. So around and round we go. And now I turn my shoulder to him and begin to walk away, and he comes in. So at that point, and I made it a point of doing it while he was near the gate, because I really want him to understand the cues are more important than the gate. And so that's why I go ahead and let him try at the gate and then reward the success.